Yes, sir. Welcome back to the second segment of this brand new episode of the ShakeBack Sports Show, powered, of course, by the ShakeBack Media Group and presented exclusively on the Big Game Christian Sports Network. It's your boy Willie Epting Jr. checking in on a fall day. Yes, and finally, we feel the temperatures of fall right here in the DFW, man. It is so very exciting. As a matter of fact, my wife Patrice and our dog Smokey Sue decided to get up without me and go for a walk. So shout out to them for that. All right. So thank you guys out there for checking me out, or checking us out rather, on Facebook, my personal page, through the network's Facebook page, and the Facebook page for the ShakeBack Media Group, as well as LinkedIn, YouTube, and of course, Twitter. We just surpassed 12,000 family members on the old X. So shout out to everybody out there that has continued to support the vision. We got some exciting things coming down the pike. And I know I've probably said that before, and I'm going to say it again because you got to see it before you see it. And I am seeing it ever so clearly with each passing event. All right, just in case you missed it in the first segment, you know what? I had to give my weekend listeners some baseball because baseball, the postseason is in full swing, no pun intended. And there are a myriad of exciting matchups that are taking place in the ALDS as well as the NLDS. And that, I forgot to say, Instagram TV. Thank you guys for out there. And I see you out there, Shay, watching us on Instagram TV. Thank you so much for that. Also, the ALDS and the NLDS S's, which will include, of course, the Texas Rangers, the number 6 seed, going to, actually, they are the 6th seed. Because they went to, no, they're the 5th seed. They went to Tampa and upset Tampa in 2 games. So it's Tampa, it's Baltimore hosting the Rangers in one ALDS, and in the other ALDS, it is going to be the number 1 seeded Houston Astros versus the Minnesota Twins. And then in the National League, in the NLDS, the top 2 seeds, the Dodgers at the number 2 seed, and of course the Braves at number 1, have been resting and awaiting their opponents, which will now include, for the Braves, the Philadelphia Phillies. And we know what happened last year in this same round, as a matter of fact, for the Phillies against the Braves. And then the Dodgers will be taking on their division mates. That, of course, is the Arizona Diamondbacks, who went to Milwaukee and swept the Brewers. And I'm telling you right now, man, I'm excited for this ALDS and this NLDS simply because we're seeing teams that have not been in this position in a while, to include Baltimore and the Rangers, and of course the Arizona Diamondbacks. I don't think they've been this far since they won the World Series way back whenever it was, but they have a very, very, very exciting team. They can swipe bags, they can hit for power, and they have 2 of the best leading their rotation in Eflin and I forgot the other kid's name. It'll come to me here in just a second. Zach Gallen. So yeah, those 2 guys, man. I'm not gonna predict those series. I actually would you know what? I am gonna predict those series right now. Before we do that though, before we move any further, I got to pay the bills, man. I gotta pay them. Front End Sports, shout out to Loyal and Pat. I hope you guys are watching. Founded in 2022, Front End Sports is dedicated to empowering athletes, teams, and organizations with cutting-edge social media, merchandising, and NIL strategies to help your brand through innovative and personalized solutions. Their team consists of experienced professionals with diverse backgrounds in sports, marketing, design, and technology who share a passion for helping their clients succeed and unlock their full potential. So, go holler at them at frontendsports.com. Tell them that your boy Willie Epting Jr. told you to get with them. so y'all can set it off on getting your brand recognized. I vouch for them 2,000,000%. Okay, before I actually get to the predictions for the ALDS and the NLDS, and then we get into some NBA and some NFL, of course, I got to do this because this thing here, I'm not quite sure what this dude is thinking, but I'll let you be the judge, because what we have right now is another segment of
Oh my God.
Okay, if you did not hear it, I'll play it again.
Oh my God.
And let's just go ahead and just pull it up, because honestly, a picture is worth more than just 1,000 words. A picture is worth more than just a word, period. But a video tells the whole story. Here we go.
I can't break character. Don't make me break character right now. Yeah. Laugh it up.
Questions? Please ask for the mic.
Oh my gosh. I gotta play it again. I have to.
I can't break character. Don't make me break character right now. Yeah. Laugh it up.
Questions? Please ask for the mic.
So let's just get into this real quick. Of course, that is Jimmy Butler. Is he a superstar? We won't say that at this point. What we will say is that was Jimmy Butler, star for the Miami Heat. Now, Jimmy Butler is a little bit of an eccentric dude. And I mean that with all sincerity and respect as I possibly can. But when he came into the Heat media days with that hair did, or was it done? I don't know what it was, but I'm telling you right now, he looked like anything other than a star NBA basketball player. As a matter of fact, if I had one of my cousins from Oakland, California on the show with me, and I asked them to describe what Jimmy Butler looked like, they would say that he looked like an East Oakland pimp. Like a pimp. That's what they would say. They would say that he looks like an individual right there off of East 14th Street and 102nd, right out just on the edge of Oakland and San Leandro. That's what they would say. We got some more viewers out there on Instagram TV. Thank you guys. Tacos and touchdowns, man. Yo, we got to hook up for real. You know, we in the chat with Sage, the Sage Up Network. Shout out to everybody there. And of course, big homie Damian Debo is in the building on Instagram. What up? So yeah, they would say just that he looks like an East Oakland pimp, and I would agree with him because he does. All right, so let's get to some college football, because the season is rolling right along, and I need to give a shout out to a couple people. Number one, I need to give a shout out to the pastors Norris and Tanya McGill of the great big ACC Antioch Christian Church over there in Irving, Texas, where we are members of. And the reason why I'm shouting them out is because their son, I call him the nephew, Jonathan McGill, is over there at SMU doing hashtag pony up things, and things that I've seen this young man do since he was starting as a freshman. Ladies and gentlemen, he was starting as a freshman on a 6A team in Texas, Coppell High School. And he went on to have a stellar career there, where he was the 6A, I forgot what district they're in, but he won the MVP his senior year, went off to Stanford, had a major impact there even after the injury. And then he transferred home to SMU, and it was a big to-do about that. But this dude, man, is showing why he has proven that it doesn't always matter about how big or tall you are. This dude is a safety, right? And he was listed at 5'9" and like 180 for the longest. And I was like, man, Jonathan's taller than that. But he is listed now at 5'10" and about 186, I want to say. And he's big enough to play at the next level. He's good enough to play at the next level. And the way that he has helped turn that SMU Mustangs defense around is nothing short of remarkable. Now, they did lose a tough game up in Norman, Oklahoma, to Oklahoma. Oklahoma, of course, and Texas in the RRR game over the weekend. That always is a bloodbath. And they lost another tough game to the rivals in Fort Worth for the Iron Skillet. But I foresee this team not losing any other games at least until November. At least. As a matter of fact, I don't see them losing any other games. I think they're favorite in every one of their games moving forward. So they have an offense that is dynamic enough to put a lot of points on the board, but now they have a defense that can get the key stops when they need it to or when they need to. And I'm really, really rooting for this young man. And I am a little biased, and I can do that because, you know, he's like family. And I've covered that kid since he was a freshman at Coppell High School. And to see the maturation that he has undertaken is nothing short of remarkable. And the SMU Ponies, or Mustangs rather, they got a gem. All right. And then the second thing I want to talk about as far as college football goes, or I shouldn't say the second thing, but another thing that I want to talk about is sources close to a source, close to another source, close to yet another source has said that there are certain Pac-12 coaches that have accused Colorado quarterback Shedeur Sanders of intentionally taking sacks to protect his completion percentage. I think he's like in the top 3 or 4 in the country in completion percentage. I think he's up like around 70% completion of his passes. So, okay. And it's, to me, I don't know if it's true or not true. And if it is true, so be it. But for this coach that has been not named, for you to say that, why? I mean, is it that much hate towards Colorado and Deion Sanders and what he's doing in Boulder for a myriad of players that may not look like the people that live in Boulder? I think Boulder is like 88 or 89% Caucasian. So most of the people that look like Deion and Shedeur are going to be on the campus of the University of Colorado. But why would you say that about a kid? And it's really, to me, a shot at his coach, if you ask me. And even if you don't ask me, I'm going to tell you that's what I think it is. I think it's a shame. And the fact of the matter is, whether he's doing it or not, we hear all the time in college, in high school. We even coached it at the Pop Warner level. And you're definitely going to hear it in the NFL. Take a sack, live for another down. So what's so wrong with that? And what evidence do you have? Do you have any evidence at all? And if you don't, then you just need to just shut up. And first of all, you need to put a name and a face to what you're saying. Don't be hiding behind Robert Guillaume once said on Good Times, anonymous. Don't be hiding behind the anonymous. Of course, we know it means it's anonymity, but don't be hiding behind that. Step up and be a man and talk about it. So for that, sir or ma'am or person or he or she or they or whatever you're going by, you get this. Big dummy. Oh no, you big dummy. You dummy. You big dummy. 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 Get lost, dummy. And that's just how we're doing it. That is just how we're doing it here at the ShakeBack Media Group, the ShakeBack Sports Show on the Big Game Christian Sports Network. We're going to call people out for what they say and, of course, for what they do. Another thing, or not one other thing in college football, as we are getting ready to wind down this second segment. Once again, thank you guys out there for checking us out on Facebook, LinkedIn, of course, YouTube, and Twitter, and of course, Instagram TV. I see you guys out there watching. We appreciate your supporting the vision. My Michigan Wolverines, you know what? Let me talk about two things. My Michigan Wolverines are on a collision course with the hated rival from the team down south. That is, of course, the Ohio State Buckeyes. The Ohio State Buckeyes, in my opinion, have way more questions than answers. Now, we know they have a dynamic wide receiver in Marvin Harrison Jr., and we know they have a pretty good doggone running back in Travion Henderson. But their questions to me remain at quarterback. Kyle McCord. Now, we talked about this on Her in the Huddle with my girl Cleveland. I'm sorry, Cleveland Kate wasn't on that episode, but Rachel Hill, of course, and Sapphire, and I think DJ Cristal may have even checked in too. But we talked about Kyle McCord, the quarterback for Ohio State, in that show. And what we said was he's still got a lot of questions to answer. That game against Notre Dame, he did prove some things. It was a big moment in a hostile environment, and playing at night in South Bend ain't easy. They don't play a lot of night games up there in South Bend. And for him to play, he didn't play that well throughout the entirety of the game. However, the last drive when he pulled the team together, and it actually started out pretty shaky as well, and he led them, and he threw that game-winning touchdown essentially at the horn. That answered some questions, but now he needs to play like that consistently for the first three quarters of a game, if you will. So that being that, and then LSU is I actually had another video that I don't think I'm going to be able to get to. Actually, I think I do have it, and it is a did you see that? Let me see if I have it. I may not have it. I don't have it. Gosh darn it. I wish I did. But anyway, it was Jaden Daniels when he was running the ball and got just floored by, I think it was a linebacker from University of Mississippi in that game in Oxford last weekend. And it was a jarring hit to the point to where Jaden actually fumbled the ball. So, and then LSU actually ended up losing that game as they allowed over 700 yards of total offense. That is not the epitome of what we're used to from an LSU defense. And whoever is in charge of that defense down there in Baton Rouge, they need to be tarred and feathered and hung up to dry. All right, we got a couple social media comment. My girl, there she is right there, Pat Evans. I told you I was going to get you on here and have you get your name shouted out. All right, that's going to wind it down for the second segment of this episode of the ShakeBack Sports Show right here on the Big Game Christian Sports Network. Come on back on the other side. We got some NFL to get into. ShakeBack Sports Show, Willie Epting Jr., Big Game Christian Sports Network. Y'all come on back and holler at us.